Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? So I hear this is your last day, I believe. I'll just see if a couple people will pop on before I get started. And I need to make sure I'm on the right page. So let me just take a peek. Hi, Tam. So, Tam, this is the last day? I'm on the very last day, I think. Okay, hi everyone. Teresa, Jerry, Camille. Okay, so today's topic is power in numbers. So right now I'm going to kind of go through, okay, here's the thing, I'm going to go right into my numbers. I'm not going to tiptoe around the numbers. I'm going to actually give you my numbers straight off the bat, and then we're going to talk about them after very quickly. This training is not going to be very long, so I will not take up an hour of your time. So I will try to make this as quick as possible. But there's something that you need to understand is all you need is a handful of people in your business for you to be able to feel like it's a big, successful business. So when we say, what is the saying? The saying is, God, I can't even think right now. What is the saying, Tam? I totally lost my train of thought. I have it written here somewhere. Okay, anyway. So this is what I've heard in the past while. I attended a training, and one of the trainings that I heard was that most of the successful people that make over $10,000 in a month, they only actually have maybe a handful of really great leaders. And so when I heard that, then I got looking in my numbers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so true. That is 100% true, because that is what I have as well. So I'm going to go through. So Tam said, recruit the many to find the few. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go through my actual numbers right now, and I'm going to talk about how you only need to recruit a few people that will build your business big. And so I'm going to talk about 4 people. And this is my 4. I mean, I still have other leaders within my downline, but I'm going to talk about the first 4 that I recruited in my first couple years of business. And their names are Deb, Wendy, Claire, and Ashley. Okay, so I joined in October of 2009. So the number I'm going to give you right now is from November 2012. So this is 2 years after I joined. Oh shoot, I didn't write. I know I wrote them somewhere. I thought I had written them down. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Deb and Wendy both joined in the beginning of 2010, so almost right after I joined. In November 2012, Deb had 53 people. In 2012. Wendy had 253. Ashley had 9. And Claire had 40. So Deb and Wendy joined in 2010. Claire in 2011, Ashley in 2012. So in November 2012, which was 2 years after, so these are the 4 people that I'm going to talk about. Deb, Wendy, Claire, Ashley. So in November 2009, so we're going to fast forward. So that is what they had back then. So let's fast forward to 2009. First thing to notice is they are still in my downline, and they are still in my downline because they were excited for the business too. Currently, Deb has 206, Wendy has 543, Claire has 2,201, Ashley has 231. So with a group number of 4,280 people in my downline total, from the 4, that equals 3,181. So that's 3/4 of my group is from these 4 people that I sponsored within my first 2 years of business. Okay, so 3/4 of my group is from these 4 people. And so I recruited many people, but these 4 people came into my life. And now these 4 people are now 3/4 of my group. Okay, so let's talk about pay from the 4. Okay, so in November 2012, I was paid on 2 people. So I was paid on them and their leader. This is all leadership bonuses and stuff, right? So on the 2 people that I was paid on in 2012, November 2012, I was paid $6,505. Claire and Ashley were not directors at that time. So I did not get, well, they were in my downline, but I can't go back and look at their numbers. I can only see the director's pay. So when I got paid on 2 people, it was $6,505. So let's keep in mind that I will be posting an income disclosure statement because every single person's business is different. Every single person has different things that they do in their business to make it grow. And so every single one of our businesses is going to grow differently. You either recruit a lot of people or you don't recruit a lot of people. You either have leaders in your team or you don't have leaders in the team. You either quit the business early on or have a negative mindset early on, or you don't, or you push forward like I did. So I'm going to talk about November 2019. Sorry, give me a second here. I should I'm going to cry right now. Okay. Let's fast forward to 2019. If I didn't work hard, if I didn't recruit more people, if I just sat and just let these 4 people build their teams and I didn't continue to build my own, in 2019, in November, let's just say I didn't earn superstar director numbers. Let's just say I was a director. If I was a director on these 4 people, I would only have gotten paid $2,953. If I was paid as director. If I was paid as star director in November 2019, if I worked my business really hard and earned my star director numbers, I would have been paid $8,958. This is only on these 4 people and what they have built in their downline. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was paid a superstar director in November 2019. On these 4 people in my downline and the teams that they have built and how hard they have worked to grow for this past years that they've been in the business, I was paid as a superstar director because I recruited more people than 4. I did my things that I needed to do to be able to get paid at title. I did everything I possibly could do to do more for myself, for my team, and for other people around me. As a superstar director on only these 4 team members, I was paid $17,930. Okay. Some people say to me, to the people who are successful around me, to the other people who are building businesses like I am, they always say, but you got in the very beginning. You came in the first couple of years. You came in 2015. You came in early on. You came in early. That is not the reason why. And people who say that are people who are giving themselves a reason to not be successful. You are giving up immediately because you did not get into the very beginning. I have friends who are successful today who got in 3-4 years ago. It takes a while to build a business. You can't be successful in a year. It takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It takes more than 6 months, more than a year to be able to look at your downline and think to yourself, I am super successful. You have to continue to grow this over time. And it takes a long time. So the people who I see now who have been in the business 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, I can start seeing the difference in their pay, the difference in their downline, the growth that's happening and more people within their downline. It takes a while. It takes a while. And for those people that say, I got into in the very beginning, if you got in the very beginning, would you still have been here? Would you still have been here when the crash of 2009 happened? When all the orders got lost in the system? Would you, let's just say you were in Region 2 right now. What if Sensi comes to you today and says to you, we are taking all of your night lights out of the catalog. You cannot sell them anymore because they are not approved to be in your country. Let's just say that happens right now. How many of you in this page would quit today if that happened? Because that happened to us. That happened to me, and that happened to us, I think, in 2010. We lost team members. The people who did get in the very beginning did not stay in because we had lost nightlights. I stayed. I didn't care. We had other stuff to sell in the catalog, so we worked on that. We lost out on nightlights for 2 years. 2 years we lost out on nightlights. And so when people say you got into the very beginning, I'll tell you right now, that was not easy. It was not easy in the very beginning. And you can even say that about, let's see, Claire is a Region 2 consultant. You can even say that about her if you really want to. But it didn't grow in Region 2 for 7 years. For 7 years, she worked her business for 7 years. For 7 years before it even caught on. How many of you today would like to say to yourself, oh, I wish I got into the UK or Region 2 back in 2010 or 11. I think it was 10 or 11 when it opened there. How many of you who wanted to do that? Because it was hard. It was hard work back then, and it never caught on for 7 years. So, and back then we also had no business supplies. We didn't have anything, and everything that you guys dealt with, we dealt with too. But we just don't go negative. We don't go negative in pages. We're the silent type in Region 1, whereas you guys may not be. So we internalize a lot of our negativity, or I do anyway, in the way that most people should. You should internalize your negativity if you need to and not post it all over the place. But I am not successful because I got in the very beginning. I am successful because these are the reasons why I'm successful. Is I hosted training days. I never waited for Sensi to come to me. I hosted my own. I speak in public. I took it upon myself to volunteer for my very first world tour in 2010, even though I suffer with anxiety, I suffer in groups of people, and I stood there and shook the entire time as I was reading. And so every single time there was a speaking opportunity, I made sure that I signed myself up for it because I wanted to get better at doing it. I am successful because I travel all over to meet my team. I go everywhere where they are. I take them out for coffee. I take them out for dinner. I host training days in the city that they live in. I have come to Region 2 multiple times over to be able to meet more people over there and help more people become successful, because it's not all about me. It's not all about me. There is more people out there who can be where I am. I am successful because I hosted my parties, and I do events, and I do my follow-ups, and I do my own personal sales. I am successful because I recruited more than 4 people. I have recruited tons of people to find the few. I am successful because, let me see what else I have written down. I actually worked 12 hours a day. Yes, you don't need to do that. But honestly, for me to get where I wanted to be, which is where I am right now, I worked 12 hours a day. Honestly, I pretty much probably did that. When my kids were really, really little, I was a little bit more different on my time, I guess, in the very, very, very beginning. I worked from the time that I put them to bed, and I worked until midnight. So 7 till midnight was all business. And there was nothing that was going to take me away from that. I wanted to earn more and more and more money. I wanted to help more and more and more people for them to become successful, just like kind of like I was seeing happen. And the thing is too, is like, as you're building your business, you're not going to see things happen in the very beginning. I remember in the very beginning, I got to about 30 people in my group, and I was just like, oh, okay. Because, I started at 0 just like you. I started at 0. But my mentality changed when I asked my sponsor. I said, how do you make money? She's like, honestly, Carla, all you have to do is recruit and never stop. And I said, okay, that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to recruit and never stop. So that's what I focused on. And when I recruited people, then I obviously had to train these people. And so training these people, I had to figure out how I wanted to do that. That works for me. My excitement transferred onto them, and then they were excited. These 4 people, when I spoke to them on the phone, they could probably tell you today that I was so excited when I was speaking to them. And that's the reason why they joined with me, is because the way I was talking to them, I was excited for the business. If you are not excited for the business, you possibly may have people in your downline not excited as well. So you have to make sure that the excitement that you have transfers on to them for you to be able to build your team and for them to be excited to want to do more with their business as well. And here's the thing, like when I say this number in November 2019 on these 4 people, this is first generation, second generation, and third generations that these 4 people have built within their business. And because I did my own business, $17,930 years later down the road on something that you never thought could possibly happen. And honestly, today was the very first day I actually did these numbers up. And when I looked at those numbers from these 4 people, I was like, holy cow. I cannot even believe that how that works out like that. All you need is a handful of people. To find the handful of people, you have to recruit many people to find the few. And so when I'm telling you, all you need is 4 to 5 people striving to become Superstar Director 2, that's when you will have these numbers. And also, just to let you know, 2 of them are Superstar Director and 2 of them are Star Director. Okay, so not all 4 of them are Superstar Directors. 2 of them are Superstar Directors, 2 of them are Star Directors. So it's the handful of people who want to become Superstar Director. If you can find those 4 or 5 people, you will have these exact same numbers just like I do, honestly. I think that's kind of all I have written down. If you guys have any questions, post them under under and I can kind of run through it or answer them for you. Oh, thanks, Tam. Sometimes when I actually sit and look at where these numbers are coming from, it actually quite shocks me. Obviously, I'm not paid on every single person within my downline, and that will happen. So the deeper depth that you have with the more directors, deeper and deeper and deeper, you don't get paid on them, and so your focus is to always make sure that you're bringing in your own numbers to be able to make your director numbers, your star director numbers, or your superstar director numbers. Because here's the thing, you need a lot of hobbyists, and I'll run through this as well. And I've done this on other trainings, but and because you guys a lot of you are certified or higher than that, you need to understand something. You need a lot of hobbyists in your business, so don't be frustrated when you have a lot of them, because you have to have them. And so, for example, as a superstar director, I need 10,000 team wholesale volume, and I need 80,000 group wholesale volume. So 80,000 group wholesale volume means sales within your whole entire group. You guys, everybody, whoever is in your whole downline, you just need 80,000 group, which as you're growing, it gets easier to earn as everybody's kind of growing at the same time. Team wholesale volume is you yourself, just you, with no directors. So these 4 people's numbers will get taken out of mine, right? And I have to be left with 10,000 team wholesale volume. So Deb's, Wendy's, Claire's, and Ashley's numbers is not inside of my 10,000 team wholesale volume, okay? So I have to have 10,000 team wholesale volume worth of hobbyists, okay, to make my superstar director numbers. I need 10,000. So there's a lot of you in here right now that are not even director. So for director, you need 10,000 group wholesale volume. It's exactly the same thing as saying 10,000 team wholesale volume. You need to build your own team off of your directors. So as your directors are building, you have to continue building. So you have to have a ton of hobbyists. And so if you have a team of 10 right now and all of them are hobbyists, that's a great thing, because you're getting closer to your 10,000 team wholesale volume. So keep that in mind. You have to have hobbyists in this business. And if you don't, you will not make your numbers. If you are growing all leaders, which we would all love to, obviously, if we recruit 100 people, we would want 100 leaders, right? But that's not the way it happens. And if it did happen, you would never get paid a superstar director, because you're not getting your 10,000 team wholesale volume, because everybody has become leaders and you're left with 0 people, right? Yeah, you have 2,000 in your group, but you have 0 people. Doesn't make sense. So you have to have hobbyists. Recruit the hobbyists. Bring in hobbyists. You need to have them. You need to have people as essential, certified, lead star, superstar consultant. You need all different rounds of people within your own personal team who are not striving for director. Okay? And so that's how you keep the balance. You have to have lots of hobbyists, but it's the 4 to 5 people that can change your entire business. It's the 4 to 5 people that can change your entire business. And I don't know how much more I can stress that, because I've said it over and over and over. People are so over their hobbyists, and you have to stop thinking like that. You have to have them. The crappy thing is about a hobbyist is a lot of them go very quickly, but then you can get more in. And so you'll have a lot of people that kind of do their 200 PRV for years, and that's all they want to do. And then you have people that come in and leave quickly right away. And then you just have people who come in and they do a lot, and then they go down a little bit, and then they come back with a vengeance and want to become director. So there's a huge different flow of people within your downline, but you have to have those hobbyists. And stop being angry with that. Stop being mad at your hobbyists for just wanting to be hobbyists, because it's a great thing. You need to get to your 10,000 team wholesale volume to be able to get paid the way I get paid. Okay? So I don't see any questions coming in. I kind of hope that the numbers helped you out a little bit there. But it is up and down. That's the thing too, is that all these numbers are always up and down. You may get paid, like okay, the 17,000, that was November. Let's just get that straight. That's November. I obviously don't get paid that in, like, say, a June or a January on those 4 people. So if someone gets paid 10,000 in a November, you're probably just getting paid 5,000 or 4 or 5,000 in a June or a January or something like that. So there's a huge spike, obviously, in the bigger months of the year. But absolutely, someone in my downline can come in and make more money than me. And that's what a lot of people don't understand too, is that people always think that the people at the top are the ones making the money. No, anybody within my downline can make more money than me. They can outshine me at any point in time, even if they recruit themselves this month. Anybody can come in and do this. And there's a huge, if you are not recruiting in Region 2 right now, you're missing a huge opportunity to begin to build your team. Let me see if I see any questions here. Lisa says, Carla, what is your top recruiting tip for everyone? First of all, one thing is always have potential recruits written down on paper, because there have been times where, a $20 month come in, or £15 month come in, or whatever, how much it was for you guys. And then I'm just like, oh my goodness, now I have to kind of sit and figure it out. If someone asks you, if you have asked somebody, if you have done all that, make sure you write their name down so you can continually ask them multiple times over as they come to you, or as something happens and you can go to them. Or the biggest thing is keeping your relationships going with them, keeping them as great customers, keeping them as a VIP. Just the relationship building in this business is a huge recruiting tool. And I don't think a lot of people understand how that actually works. But if you are always, if the more times that they can see your name, the better for you. Even if you're not selling anything, the more times that they can see your name, and they think of the word Sensi, your name should always pop in their head. But I would just say the biggest recruiting tool for recruiting people is the relationships, in asking every single time they come to you to buy something. I got into the habit of, when I'm filling out an order form for somebody, I always ask them if they want to host a party or join my team. And want my monthly newsletter. So, and it's just easy to say those 3 questions. Hey, are you interested? I pretend it's a check box on my order form. Hey, are you interested in getting my monthly newsletter? No, thank you. Are you interested in joining my team? And it's either yes or no. And are you interested in hosting a party in the next month or 2? And it's either yes or no. Like, honestly, like, don't make it a big deal. Some people sit there and think about it when they go home. And then the next time that you ask them, they're like, yeah, you know what, I was kind of thinking of it. The last time you asked me, I did kind of look it up a little bit. So a lot of times when they originally say no, they actually go home and research it. And so it's you need to ask them again the next time you see them, or the next time they place an order with you. So that's just one thing that I've always kept in my business on the order form filling out, is asking those 3 questions. And I just actually, honestly, if Sensi had those 3 boxes on your order form, everybody would ask it, because then you get to check it off. So this is just something that I've always done. And I don't see any other questions, guys. So hopefully I didn't talk too long. I could probably chit chat all day. But just my biggest tip for you guys is to start building your team. Start building your team now, and work hard, work hard on your own personal business, work hard on bringing in other people, because you want to make sure that you are bringing in enough to make your 10,000 team wholesale volume. And the faster you go, the faster you will get there. Okay, thank you for asking me, Tam, to come on here. I really appreciate it. And I hope this training was helpful to some of you, because I know in the very beginning when I joined, it was the numbers that made me want to work. I heard some numbers. I went to an incentive trip one time and I heard all the paychecks everyone was making. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. Like, how can you make that? And so it's hard work. You can't ever say this business doesn't work. The business only works if you quit. Or the business doesn't work if you quit. The business will work if you take all the negative that's all around you and throw it away and say to yourself, I'm going to be successful just like her, because you can do it. Anybody can do it. It is not for any specific type of person. You can be outgoing, you can be introverted. I'm an introvert. I am an introvert. I don't like going out. I don't like talking to people. But yet I had this huge successful business because I am determined to make it in this business. I am determined to help other people. So anyway, I'll stop talking because I feel like I just keep rambling. Yeah, thank you guys for inviting me onto the training. Bye.